So now we know what happens when lines are parallel. When lines are parallel, we have certain things that we know are true, and now we're going to learn the converse, like what happens if these things are true, right? So we'll remember from chapter 2 that converse was switching the if and the then. So instead of P implies Q, it was Q implies P. Remember these? So we said, like, if it's raining, that was like the P, then bring your umbrella was the Q. What would the converse be? If you bring your umbrella, then it's raining. And it's not always true when you switch it around. Doesn't want to write here, then it is raining. And you won't have to write out anything like that on the quiz or anything, but we're just reminding you converse is switching. So before we learned if lines are parallel, then we have these relationships, right? Alternate, interior, I'm just going to abbreviate, are equal. Same side are supplementary, or maybe I'll say congruent, equal, same thing. And the corresponding are congruent. Now we're going to learn the opposite, which is if the alternate interiors are equal, then the lines are parallel. If the same side interior are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. If the corresponding are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So it's just flipping around what we already know, and it's going to be a little bit easier when you do the homework too, because all you need to do is look at the picture and say, well, what kind of angles are these? And we even gave you abbreviations like alternate interior, same side interior, corresponding. I still like to write out at least a little bit of the word, so I might say like corresponding, but it's fine if you said CA. What about number 8? What kind of angles are those? Alternate interior, same side interior, corresponding. You're right, same side interior. That one I do like to abbreviate. And then we're always fair, so you probably can guess what's coming, but what kind of angles are those? You're right, alternate interior angles. Not bad, right? This next one can be a little tricky. You got a double checkerboard. It's going to give you a piece of information. Like, for example, angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. And our choices are, does that make line M parallel to N? Does that make M and N parallel? Or does that make P and Q parallel? Or neither? So it's either M and N or P and Q or neither. So it has 3 and 6 are equal. Which pair of lines does that touch? You're right, P and Q. What about 6 and 13 adding to 180? Here's 6, here's 13. Those are same side interior. If those add to 180, that makes M parallel to N. What about 10 and 14 being equal? Well, those are corresponding, and again, that's going to make P parallel to Q. Now, it doesn't always have to make something parallel. So like 1 and 4, those are vertical angles. That doesn't make anything parallel. Let's see, what's the next one? I'm going to erase so I can see it again. So the next one is 2 and 9 adding up to 180. So there's 2 and 9. Those are same side interior. That's going to make M parallel to N. But what about 13 and 14 adding up to 180? Does that make anything parallel? Sure doesn't. Those are straight lines. That's just like the sunrise, sunset, right? That's not forcing any lines to be parallel. So that's an empty set 1, too. I'm going to put a star by those because those are a little tricky for people, but that we do have some questions like that on the test. So it's trickier, but we have to make sure we know that. The last ones are our algebra questions, and you're going to say, didn't we already do these? Yes, we did. It's just a review. So we look at the picture. The picture is always talking to us. What kind of angles does that picture say we have here in number 7? You're right, corresponding, right? Corresponding. What's our relationship between corresponding angles? You're right, they are congruent. What does congruent mean? Congruent means equal, you are right. And then once you have that, you're kind of home free, right? You can solve this, 105 and x is 21. The nice thing is we don't even have to plug that back in. Now we're always fair to our angles, so we know that this one's going to be a different kind of angle. What do you notice about these two angles right here? Which kind of our special angles are they? You're right, they're the same side interior angles. What's the relationship between same side? Yep, same side is supplementary. Same side is supplementary. Now here's where a lot of kids will make a mistake. They'll write same side, they'll circle supplementary, and then they'll set them equal. Does supplementary mean equal? Or does it mean add up to 180, right? Yeah, it means add up to 180. So you actually want to add those up. I'm going to add the 30 to both sides, divide both sides by 5. What's that, 42? Yeah, 42. The last one here is actually alternate exterior angles. I said fill in the AIAs, so you would see by vertical angles that those are equal. So you could either say alternate interior or alternate exterior, right? I would probably always give them to as alternate interior, which we know are equal, right? So 5x plus 25 equals 100. So 5x is 75, and then therefore x is 15. Yeah, 15. And there we have it. Converse and showing lines are parallel.